Hello, Sarah Klein here with the Transformative Learning Center. I'm going to do a quick tutorial on Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog, using a chair. Now, whether you're an experienced practitioner who practices vinyasas on the regular, or you're new to yoga, understanding the foundation and the intention of postures is critical for a lifelong healthy practice. So if you're an advanced practitioner, try this on to refine and articulate this fundamental movement. If you're new to yoga, this is a great way to give the joints some mobility to start that process of opening, so that if you're interested in moving towards a vinyasa style class, you can do that with safety. The objective is to have a lifelong healthy practice. If you're a yoga facilitator, having some of these tools in your toolkit on how to modify or support students to gain mobility and strength in postures can be super beneficial. So, thanks for joining, and here we go, upward facing dog on a chair. I'm going to show you from two angles. Now first, upward facing dog is a really big back bend. And in order to get a nice even arc in the spine, we need access to our thoracic spine, which is really right between those shoulder blades. And for most of us, that tends to be a sticky place in the body. The lumbar, the lower back, tends to take the torque of the back bend when we aren't properly opening to access the thoracic. So in our back bends, we want to find a nice even curve. So the ticket to get the thoracic spine online is through the shoulders, and you'll be able to see that here. If I kick my shoulders forward, first of all, you'll notice there's a collapsing in my chest. And if I kick my shoulders forward and try to come into a back bend, you'll see how it loads my lower back. So the action to get into the thoracic spine opening is by taking the head of the arm bone up and back. And when I do that, you'll see that I show off my armpits. So we want to get people to create that mobility of up and back, so the scapula descend and widen. And when that happens, the shoulder is safe and prepared to bear weight, which is critical when we're coming into these postures. This will give us, again, that lifelong healthy practice that we're looking for. So the main action of the pose, so first, this is the foundation. We've got to get the shoulders properly organized so that we can access the action of thoracic spine opening, or the action of the sternum lifting. That will get us into the thoracic spine. So to further that, and I'm going to show you just in a second, is the elbow can become like a rudder to moving the shoulder. And I call this action the bulldog. When I come into the pose, you're going to see as I approach the pose, I'm going to drop my elbows away, then zip them back. I'm going to keep them bent. That will take the head of the arm bone up and back and give me access to the thoracic spine opening and the sternum lifting. So then at the very, very end of the pose, the very, very top of the breath, if it's accessible that you can keep the head of the arm bone up and back, you can straighten your arms. Okay, so anytime we move a posture away from the ground, we simply have more mobility to work the details in the joint. So you don't necessarily need a yoga chair, you just need a chair with a nice flat-ish seat. I have this on my yoga mat here so that it doesn't slide. And I'm going to come into upward facing dog on the chair. So the hands are shoulder distance apart, middle fingers are parallel. You'll see that every chair is not made perfectly for you. And I'm going to press the tops of my feet down. Now from here, I'm going to extend the tailbone, I'm going to bend the elbows away. Press down through the pointer finger mound. That's your foundation. That's going to give the forearms the opportunity to internally spiral. I'm going to keep that micro bend in my elbows and zip them back. Do you see how that exposed my armpits? Then the head of the arm bone moved, the scapula descended and widened. Then from here, look at the sternum. Welcome the sternum to lift, lift, lift. So that's the action. And at the very end, I will straighten my arms. Now, very typically, people throw their head back in the pose. That's an extremely advanced movement. And again, we're looking for that even curvature in the spine. So first, we've got to get the action in the thoracic spine or in the sternum lifting. And then the head over time with no rush can lean back if we can keep a healthy opening in the neck, in the cervical spine. Now I want to show you from a different angle so you can see. You'll be able to really see the action of the bulldog. So again, I bend the elbows. As I zip the elbows back, you'll see the head of the arm bone lifts and the scapula descend. Then you've got the armpits exposed. From here, the pelvis moves towards the chair. I press through the pointer finger mound. Look at the sternum to remind it to lift, and then keep the head on straight. From here, you can feel some nice sensations in the thoracic spine. All right, I hope you learned something. Do leave a comment in the comment sections below. Thanks for watching.